G'day, I'm Patrick Canion, Head of Advice to Switzerland for the Atlas Wealth Group, and welcome to Alpine Aussies, where we highlight the stories of Australians living and working in Switzerland. Today, we're in Geneva, and let's hear from Karina Szwaja.
Alpine Aussies.
Karina, hi. Well, it's great to catch up with you on this wonderful, beautiful summer Geneva afternoon.
Thank you. It is a beautiful day. It's almost feels like an Australian summer.
I know. It's like very un-Swiss in many ways from what you expect with lots of snow and everything.
That's right. It was a gorgeous day today. Thank you.
Hey, how long have you been here in Geneva anyway?
So I've lived in Geneva for about 13 years now.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I was in Australia.
Okay.
I was in Melbourne, but starting to feel like Switzerland's my home. I've been here long enough.
13 years. Wow. And I guess it's a little bit more diverse than Melbourne, although Melbourne's a pretty cool place as well.
Yeah. So look, when I arrived, I noticed that some things were very similar and some things were completely different. So Coming from Melbourne, I found Geneva to be quite a small city. Mm-hmm. But over time, I've come to realize there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of activity and there's a lot of action here too.
And I bet they didn't have the coffee scene 13 years ago that Melbourne had.
No, they did not. Not at all.
It's a bit hairy. You can get a flat white in Geneva now.
These days you can, but when I arrived, I must say that was one of my initial struggles. Very much missing Melbourne coffee and the Melbourne coffee scene. So that's not something, that comes to mind when you think of Geneva.
Yeah, different. And so what was the reason for moving here in the first place? I mean, it's a big move.
It is a big move. So I had both personal and professional reasons for coming here. So I work as a lawyer. I do multinational transactions and legislation. So for me, professionally, this is an excellent place to be, a place where you see a lot of international business and you see all types of industry placed here in Geneva. And I work really where there's an intersection between APAC, the EU, Switzerland, and the UK. So for me, it's a large motivation was to expand my career and my opportunities professionally.
And so you have your own practice here now in Geneva, right?
That's right. It's right. I'm an independent barrister. I work more or less with international companies to really help them navigate through a lot of complex regulatory frameworks and litigation.
And how much of a challenge is it to stay across both of those jurisdictions, the legal aspect? Because it's a very different system of law here in Switzerland compared to the common law situation in Australia.
That's right. That's correct. So the Swiss frameworks are typically a lot more streamlined than what we're accustomed to in a common law country. But nonetheless, again, Geneva in particular being a place that is very international, most transactions or disputes involve multiple jurisdictions. So it is quite a challenge, but that's why I'm here. My clients, they can focus on business and I can navigate through that for them.
Yeah. And you have some children that are just getting out of childhood, but not yet adolescents.
That's right.
Is it a good place to raise kids here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my children are also Australian, but they were born in Switzerland. So they are perhaps more representative of a Swiss person. They ski, they don't surf, for example. But for me, this was one of my reasons for staying here as long as I have, because it is a very safe country. The education system is excellent. And of course, my children are bilingual. So they speak French at their Swiss school. At home, they speak English, and they are also studying German. So the huge advantage for me about living here is the safety, education, and opportunity available for my children.
Do they like Vegemite though?
Not at all.
Nope.
I've tried.
I think that's a taste you got to get early in life, because I don't like it either.
There you go.
What do you miss about Australia? Is there anything?
Look, I love it here, but I do miss the beach. nothing better than a nice Aussie
Wait a
barbecue.
minute, in Melbourne, you don't have beaches.
Yeah, we've
in
got to
Melbourne.
drive a fair bit to get to the beach, but we have one close enough. Switzerland being landlocked, sometimes it's a bit of a challenge, especially on a day like this where it's quite warm. We do have beautiful lakes here, but I miss the Aussie barbecue at the beach is something, I can't really create here, but there are opportunities for that when I go home too for holidays, so it's not bad.
So swinging back a bit to the business side, do you think can you think of anything that maybe Switzerland could learn from Australia in terms of either its business environment or its legal approach or just generally?
Certainly there are some things. I think we find, from my perspective and the work I do, there's a lot more scope for flexibility for businesses here. That being, again, I touched on briefly before, because on a regulatory perspective, comparatively, it is a lot more simple to navigate through. So in countries such as Australia or the US, we see a lot more legislation generally, a lot more regulation, whereas the Swiss legislature has a tendency to make processes a bit more simple for corporates. So I think that's one learning point for sure we could take back home.
It seems that there's less red tape here than in Australia, from my perspective, albeit it's different sort of red tape. Is that a fair observation, do you think?
I think, yes, that is a very fair comment. There is a level of red tape, but perhaps there's not as much of it, let's say. So that creates a level of ease for clients, or complications that they would typically be facing in structuring or deals, for example, that they can enjoy not having to deal with in Switzerland.
Yeah. And so in terms of your future plans, do you get back to Australia very often? Or do you have family visit you here?
Both, yeah. So I love going back home. I like going back to my country and spending time at the beach, having a barbecue, catching up with friends. But in terms of my plans for now, I'm quite happy here. It's because it is very international, and where it is geographically positioned within Europe, it makes it an excellent hub for me personally to be based in. Just the level of opportunity for international work is quite significant for me. So I do like to go back for holidays, but for now, I'm quite happy living here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So Karina, what would be your one tip for any Aussies who have newly arrived in Switzerland or are maybe considering a move over here?
I would say find local amenities and engage with those. Find fellow expats who have come from Australia before, and the advice they'll be able to share with you will save you a great deal of time. And I think sometimes we want to see what we are comfortable with or familiar with, but I think it's better to just try and fully embrace Switzerland for see what it has to offer, and really engage locally on the services that are offered to you and the lifestyle. So
Yeah, great. Well, thanks so much for your time. It's been great having a chat.
thank you.
And we look forward to sharing the journey.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Have a great day.